Hello everybody and welcome to my channel. I believe it was last week when I posted this video. I posted a video titled Fashion Week Makeup Spring Summer 2019 for New York City, and that was a video where I basically looked at some of the makeup looks, some of the runway makeup looks from Fashion Week, specifically New York. I basically looked at some of those looks and I discussed them with you guys, and I was sort of experimenting. I was testing the waters. I wanted to see if you guys would like that concept, because I have mentioned many times before that I typically do what I want to do in terms of my creativity and in terms of my content, but I do want to say that I do prefer posting videos that you guys seem to respond well to, and I do like coming up with concepts and ideas that different people might not be used to. So whenever I do that and whenever it's successful, I of course am very happy, and this time you guys seem to like that video a lot. So I decided to do a part 2 where I talk about the makeup looks from Paris and Milan. So let's talk about first Valentino. Valentino is a show that goes on at Paris Fashion Week, and it's probably one of my most favorite fashion houses, honestly. And this time they hired Pat McGrath to do the eye makeup, well, to do the makeup in general for the models, and oh my goodness, she did not disappoint. Just look at that glitter. The models have this beautiful glittery eye look going on. It's very graphic, it's very beautiful. I love a good green eyeshadow, and I love a lot of sparkle, especially this. This looks so beautiful. It's obviously so editorial, so runway, but I am living for this look. I absolutely love this. I'm obsessed. It looks so beautiful. Okay, so this is another version of super glittery, super shiny looking lips. This is from the designer called Thom Browne. This photo in particular has the model wearing this beautiful bright gold lip, and she has a little bit of blush going on, and then everything else is very pared down, very neutral, very natural looking. This, for me, I love this. It's so futuristic, and yet it's kind of a classic, because you do get on runways a lot of really bright, a lot of really bold, artistic looking lips. And this, for me, this is so much fun. This is so interesting. I love a very fun looking lip, and this does that. I also want to mention Halpern. I have not heard of this designer before, but oh my goodness, Sequin City, I love you. This looks so pretty. It's very graphic, and yet it's just a colorful makeup look, and I absolutely love it. I'm zooming in, and it looks like they basically did a very graphic looking, sort of cat eye looking eyeshadow look with a dark green, and then to add a little bit more dimension, they put different colors and different different shapes of glitter, different consistencies. It looks for some they use more of a fine looking glitter, and then they use some chunkier looking glitter flecks. But the point is, her top lid looks so saturated with glitter. I absolutely love this look. Definitely one of my favorites. This is something that I absolutely love. It looks phenomenal. It looks amazing. I love this look. I also want to talk about Versace. Now, Versace has a more, okay, this is not understated, but it's a lot more understated than what I showed you guys previously. This model has this most beautiful, very graphic, shimmery, metallic looking eye. It looks to me like they use a cream shadow and not much else. Maybe they use an eyeshadow base. It's very exaggerated on the model. I, for one, am really liking this a lot. I do want to say I do enjoy the sequin and glitter version a lot more, but this is something that is a lot easier to recreate. You can pretty much use whatever kind of heavy metallic looking shadow that you have in your collection, whether it be green or silver or even gold, to recreate this. I love this kind of graphic look. I also want to talk about Dolce & Gabbana. This is very classic. I have watched a lot of Dolce & Gabbana's shows throughout the years, and they seem to stick to the very classic, very similar makeup look, which basically involves a cat eye and a bright lip on pretty much all the models. And this is the same thing that they've done for a very long time, and this pretty much shows that look, and I feel like it's absolutely beautiful. The way they do it, it's very classic, it's very understated, it's very timeless. You could create this on anybody at any point in time, at any like point of the year, and it still will look absolutely beautiful. This is something that I think suits everybody, and they seem to have added a little bit of highlight on her nose, on her chin as well, and maybe just a little bit on her cheeks, but I can't really tell if that's sweat. That's probably sweat, but either way, it looks absolutely beautiful. This is kind of like a more understated version of a runway makeup look. But then again, Dolce & Gabbana, they don't use a lot of like really heavy editorial looking makeup. They tend to go very classic. Missoni created this really like simple, very minimal looking colorful makeup look. They basically took a colorful eyeshadow, in this case it was a light blue, and they put it in the inner corners and kind of diffused it out a little bit, and then the lips appear to have some sort of like either a gloss or a balm on them, and there seems to be a very light looking, very minimal looking foundation, and also very soft looking highlight as well. I feel like the inner corner highlight on the models is probably like a iridescent looking shadow, because in some places it looks like a violet, and other places it looks like a light blue. But regardless, this is a very simple version of a colorful makeup look that anyone could do. I have done a video where I talked about how to incorporate color into your makeup look if you are a beginner in color, and in that video I mentioned that I do love using a colorful shadow, particularly a blue, in the inner corners, because it's a very fun way to instantly brighten up a makeup look, and this is another example of that. This is from the brand called Off-White. Almost no makeup on the actual models' faces, but like there's a lot of ear candy going on in the form of like this really bright orange and blue pigment on the ears, which is like a really interesting way of putting, like, using color. Let me be honest with you guys, I'm not that much into my ears. I'm not really into ears in general, but I like this. I think that this is an interesting look, and I feel like I haven't seen this before. And as weird and out there as runway makeup can be, like sometimes it can be a little bit repetitive, and I can probably say, like, I can definitely say with like I think 99% certainty that I haven't seen this before, so I'm intrigued. I really am intrigued. Now moving on, let's talk about this designer called Esteban Cortazar. I might be butchering that pronunciation, but I forget what designer this was, but I did mention in my previous runway makeup looks video that there was a designer that just had his models go out with this like kind of painted looking lid effect that I was absolutely obsessed with. This is a different version of that same look, and I love it. They used a lot of different colored pigments in this, it appears that they used a brush, and I love it because you have that green going on, you have the blue, you have the red, you have the orange, you have the yellow, and you have the white. I love that marriage, that juxtaposition of different colors to create a look that is smudgy, that just brings you in. I love this kind of look. I feel like this is definitely a trend that I really love. I love this so much, and I kind of wanted to spotlight it for you guys. Christian Dior. They have, okay, I was like debating on whether or not to put this in this video, but then I was like, you know what? It's an interesting makeup look, and I want to get your guys' opinion on this, and I want to see if you guys like it. But this is like a very graphic looking eyeliner or eyeshadow job. Like, it looks like they literally took like a brush or their fingers and just did some finger painting on the models to like make like this design on their eyes. The only reason I'm not like really into this is because of the fact that they used a brown, you know, and I feel like that kind of looks like a little bit of poo on the face, and I'm not into that. I'm not like into that look. But if this was like a blue or like a white or like a red or pink, I'm just naming colors here. If this was any other color, except maybe black or gray, if this was any other color, I would be obsessed. I would really be obsessed. But like, it is a brown, so I'm not like, not into it, like not too into it, but I like the concept. Another designer that was really like graphic when it came to the eyes was Dries Van Noten. I can't pronounce the name, I'm very sorry, but he had his models go out with like a very graphic looking eyeliner, eyeshadow look on the eyes, and the whole, like, the rest of the makeup is very, very minimal. There's something about like this really graphic looking eye that kind of like gives me like a little, gives me a peak of interest. I like this look a lot. It looks like literally like they took their fingers and they just smudged the eyeliner. You know, I have a feeling that they just used a brush for this, but I really like this a lot. If this was a yellow, this would look so good as a yellow, because I feel like that would be more exciting. Just in my personal opinion. This designer called Eckhaus Latta, I probably am butchering that as well, but this is like some really interesting lip art. They have like a very natural looking lip, but then they have like a light blue pigment on the lips, which is really interesting. I haven't really seen that before. Really cool. Like, I just wanted to show you guys that, because I don't know if I'll be trying this out myself, because I'm not someone that really tries out a lot of lip art, but maybe like putting like a bright lip like this and then like taking like little, maybe taking like a lip palette and just dipping into like a light blue and just sort of like smearing that on the lips. I feel like that would be an interesting look to create. Yeah, because I like this model. Like, I like the way this looks on her. It looks very flattering. It looks so beautiful. It's like a nice statement, but since the lip itself is so natural looking, save for the blue, it's easier to wear. But I feel like if I was to recreate this, I would love to take it a step further by just adding a red lip and then putting color on top of that. So that is all I have to say for the different makeup looks for Fashion Week. I have been talking for quite a while and I don't want to overwhelm you guys. I want to keep these videos relatively short. So I do think that these are some really beautiful examples of makeup looks on the runway. I am quite interested in pretty much everything that I just showed you. The reason I'm not showing you everything is because there are literally like hundreds of makeup looks to go through, and some of them tend to be a little bit repetitive, so I'm trying to like cherry pick and show you guys looks that I myself am intrigued by, so you guys can have a more pleasant viewing experience. Leave me feedback in the comments below if you would like me to continue this series for next fashion month, if you would like me to extend it to street style makeup looks, because people that go to shows, people that are sitting in the audience of these fashion shows also have some interesting makeup looks that I would love to spotlight. So let me know if you want to see that. Thank you so much for watching till the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys later. Bye guys.